Immediately, Eastward appeals to a certain type of gamer. Games that use intricate, detailed pixel art draw the gaze of players with a variety of tastes, but I notice often it's either artists themselves or older gamers like me. Fond memories of Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI bubble up every time I see a game that uses the pixel art aesthetic. Now obviously that doesn't cover everyone. There are a variety of reasons why someone would be drawn to Eastward. I say all this because the opposite, where someone scoffs at a game because of its art style, would be a terrible reason to overlook what is a superb action RPG. Developer Pixpill is a small operation based in Shanghai. I knew going into Eastward that this was a small development, but when I rolled the credits, it blew my mind how much this small team achieved. Eastward starts in a small underground town called Pot Isle. You play as John, a resident who earns his living being a digger, and Sam, a young girl with flowing white hair and enthusiasm to match its brightness. These two are a mysterious pair. John never says a single word, yet you can tell he is a considerate and loyal father figure. The interaction between these two really anchors the whole story. Once the stage is set, it feels a little small at first. John is the go-to guy for trouble, known for being reliable in a tight spot. Slugs have gummed up the works at the dig site, so John is called in to take care of it. This is when you get your first taste of combat. I never got bored with the combat controls in Eastward. They are silky smooth. Soon after the beginning, you'll start to control both Sam and John. This is where the controls really shine. Many a game have attempted to let a single player control two characters in an action RPG setting. Eastward easily did it the best. Switching between John and Sam is seamless, and each character brings a different set of skills and abilities. This is the meat of the entire game. Once events start to get going, you'll have to start taking on environmental puzzles that require you to use both characters. There is a delicate balance that keeps these puzzles fun and rarely frustrating throughout the entire game. This to me is the most impressive aspect of Eastward. Cooking plays a big part in Eastward as well. You can buy and collect dozens of ingredients throughout the game. While there are shops where you can buy basic items, what you cook is going to be your best option for healing and positive status effects. It's a simple formula. You pick 3 items, 4 if you include a status item but they're not necessary, and see what works. You can discover quite a few recipes and keep track of them in your cookbook. It's a robust system that isn't at all tedious and really fun. Eastward has some of the best pixel art I've seen on any platform. Every character, building, and enemy is done with skill and care. Even the battle effects look fantastic. Looking back at my playthrough, what sticks out in my mind the most is the sheer amount of environments that were made for Eastward, each one memorable. From their small beginnings in Pot Isle to their travels on multiple trains to New Dam City and beyond, every screen was a joy to look at. A good soundtrack is incredibly important for any game. This is especially true for RPGs. While characters are talking during long story segments, a good song can really pull you in. Because RPGs have a lot of dialogue, it is even more important that the music keeps you engaged. Eastward's soundtrack does the job. From town themes to battle songs, it sets the right mood in almost every scene. It's another standout aspect of Eastward. So far, I've said a lot of good, and mainly that's because there's a lot of good to be talked about. There are a few things that didn't sit well with me, though. A few segments in the story do drag on a bit. Fetch-type quests that can feel a bit tedious and unnecessary, but this isn't prevalent. As you move to a new town, they can be helpful in helping you get the layout of a new area. Another thing that wasn't so much bad as it was odd, the tone of the story is a real roller coaster. In the beginning, you start to get a good idea of where the story will go. Small town mysteries, the origins of the main characters. But halfway through, this game takes a real turn. We're talking messing with time and space and world-ending stuff. When you finish the game and think back to where it began, the scope and intensity of the whole thing is just crazy. Eastward is a bit longer than your typical indie RPG. My playthrough took around 26 hours. After you finish the game, there is a new extras option on the menu that allows you to jump to any chapter with a few other goodies. The game is pretty linear. In that, I mean there's no backtracking. There are plenty of places to explore, but once you're at a certain story point, there's no turning back. I was a bit annoyed that I couldn't go back and look for upgrade items I might have missed, but in the end it didn't bother me all that much. So, yeah, I absolutely loved Eastward. If any part of this game looks or sounds interesting to you, you should probably give it a try. One of the big reasons I love indie games is often they are inexpensive, so you don't have to fret over blowing $70 on something you don't like. Eastward will cost you $24.99 and it's available on PC, Mac, and the Nintendo Switch. This is the debut game for developer Pixpill. I hope enough of you will give Eastward a shot so we can see what they do next. Support indie developers whenever you can, because more games like Eastward would be a great thing. I post daily original content on TikTok. The details are in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And if you would like to see more positive and varied gaming content, help support Why You Should Play and subscribe. Your support means everything. Take care of each other, gamers. I'll see you soon.